Friends, I think the move to how the smart cities will operate already got initiated this morning. You will, in the coming days, be face to face with the situations where people will not be able to physically be present and interact with you all the time. And this video mode of presentation is something which we may sometimes see in books and fiction, at least 5 to 10 years back. I am reminded of my days as Director General Shipping, when in that we conduct interviews. Basically, there are viva voce tests for the cadets, and everybody has to come to one particular place where the internal examiner is there, the external examiner there is, the cadet is there, and that physical presence is considered something extremely sacrosanct. Now imagine the consequences. Someone comes from Navi Mumbai, burning petrol all the way to Kolaba, where the DG Shipping's office is. The candidate travels, interview happens for 1 hour or 2 hours, and then the external examiner goes back. When I had initially proposed that why don't we do it through video conferencing, it was thought that I was crazy. But now I'm happy that that has been initiated. Not just that, even classroom teaching on that mode has also been initiated. So I think this is the way to go forward. And in a way, it was a out-of-box gesture on the part of the Honorable Minister that he recorded the message, referred to the conference today, and was, as he himself said, present through uh, the video conferencing mode. Sorry, I think the guest of honor is probably getting slightly delayed, but then that is the reason why we thought we should start this particular session. So I was coming to that theme essentially. This is a kind of a out-of-box thinking which the Honorable Minister had, that he will record this message and he will present his views. There's another new which you would have noticed in his address, and that another new in his address is that he's talking in terms of improved urban governance. We have for quite some time been confined to a viewpoint that India lives in villages, and therefore rural development is what matters, and the urban development somehow is left to happen for itself. But this is a very important point that the Honorable Minister mentioned, that you cannot have this kind of a untrained manpower in the urban governance. I mean, he did talk of decentralized power. Let me clarify for everybody's consideration that he meant decentralization of political power and not the electrical power, but the remarks hold for both. When you have decentralized power or distributed energy systems, if you don't have a skilled manpower and if you don't have a proper storage infrastructure, the distributed systems may not work very well. So similarly, in the decentralized power, which has happened through the 73rd and 74th Amendment, if you don't have a trained cadre, then you are likely to miss out on your urban governance. He also took a rounded view of this entire issue and looked at the necessity for urban sanitation and other aspects of our urban governance, and very importantly, houses which are more energy efficient. Because there is no point in doing a damage first and then setting it right. So it's important that right in the beginning we look at housing itself, which is energy efficient, the use of energy which is done in an efficient and less wasteful manner. But as regards smart cities, today there is some amount of divergence of thought. I would not use the word confusion, because not just to lay public, even to well-informed public, there isn't a great clarity of what exactly is this smart city about. And as they say in Hindi, Jaki rahi bhavna jaisi, Prabhu Murat din dekhi taisi. So if I'm in power grid, I'll say smart city is the one which uses smart grid. If I'm in renewable, I'll say smart city is the one which uses renewable energy resources. If I'm in IT, I'll say the city is smart if everybody has a internet connection, preferably in his pocket and his or her mobile. And if you have recently heard, someone using stem cells has grown a ear on the arm. So someone might say that we could have a contraption where on my arm itself I have Wi-Fi connection. So I don't even have to take the trouble of taking my mobile out. So even though these divergence views are emerging, one common trend or one common factor you would be noticing is that everybody is saying this will be a city where transactions will be done on knowledge base and they will be done efficiently. Now, any definition of smart city that you look at, this becomes inescapable. Whether it comes to your power usage, you are looking in terms of smart grid. Where you are talking in terms of generation, you are looking at the rooftop. Whether you are looking at your communication, you are talking about Wi-Fi. So it is essentially going to be a city which is going to be knowledge-based and it is also going to be efficient. I'll just add one point for consideration of this distinguished audience. Knowledge alone doesn't complete the picture. Knowledge has to have compassion along with it. So when you think in terms of a smart city, you'll also have people in that city and not just gadgets. And these people will be from all walks of life and their needs will have to be catered to. So you cannot have a smart city with an appendage of a slum. So it's an important consideration that we will have to have whether we want in future just smart cities or we want just and smart cities. So this is an important distinction. I think in our technological consideration of smart cities, we will need to keep that in mind. What we would do is, I think we will begin with our regular session. Uh, in order to avoid disruptions, instead of calling all the speakers to the podium right away, I'll start with Dr. Rahul Tongia, who will enlighten us about what this smart city concept is all about. That would set the tone for the regular session. We would hope that the guest of honor would arrive by then, and then we will complete the award function and then go on with the rest of the speakers. I think if it is that is agreeable, let me welcome Rahul Tongia. He is Technical Advisor, Smart Grid Task Force, but that is only a formal kind of tag that is attached to his persona. He's been involved in smart applications and knowledge-based applications for quite some time. So I think he will be in a position to tell us what the smart city thing is all about. Thank you very much. Rahul, could you please?